What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning, everybody. David Howard in the building. How you feeling, sir? Andy Gill, Ray Patterson, Coach Chris, Big Kev, Bank Hayes. All things. What's good, man? Barbara D. Good morning, Barbara D. Windy City Assassin and Antonio Hendon. Good morning. My Kansas City Chiefs got whooped. Even though that's not my team, I was still kind of rooting for Patrick Mahomes. What's going on, King Swisher? Congratulations to Philly. Congratulations, Flyer Frequency. I'm happy that you got a taste of a win. I'm happy that you got a taste of a win. Good for you. I know it's been a while. As a Devin fan, it's been a while. Let me not set myself up being a Bears fan. Lifestyle Richie in the building. What's going on, man? Top of the morning. Wishing you a blessed stream, boss. Thank you, Lifestyle Richie. Appreciate you. Barbara D said, "Go Philly." Okay, now I'm happy Philly won. Barbara's happy Philly won. Then I'm happy that Philly won. Noel, what's going on, man? Hey, you got family out here. You know you bleed green. Nah, I'm from Chicago, man. Nah, man. I don't fuck. I mean, I root for the Eagles. I take that back. I root for the Eagles. I root for the Eagles. I don't have a problem with the Eagles. I was just going for Patrick Mahomes. But I don't really watch football a whole lot. When he said sharp ass double-edged sword, what is that, man? What's the double-edged sword? Double in the building. Good morning, man. Flawless Mentality Elevation hosted by Dr. Mark. What's going on, Dr. Mark? Grand risings, blessings to my Chi-Town brother of Elevation fam and the gods and beautiful goddesses of the always solid international boxing family. Thank you, Dr. Mark. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the pleasant words. Thank you for the positive words. Thank you. Because I came in here with less than positive emotions today. D Free in the building. What up, man? Shout out to DC, dog. DC got a fight. Pro Box is putting on a fight with Antonio Russell on like April 2nd in DC. If my money's right, it may be right. I may go to that fight. For now, it was lit out here all weekend for the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. That's why I kind of took the weekend off, man. Best time to take a week off was some shit, but anyway, yeah, man, I hate that I couldn't have been in New Orleans over on Bourbon Street. Man, I hang out on Bourbon Street a lot, man. Branson, what's some BS? The Chiefs got their ass whooped. Oh, but you got 2 championships. You got to take it and move. You know what I mean? You got back-to-back championships. You got like 3 championships. So they were gonna find, that your team was gonna get old. You're gonna have to go through a rebuilding process, man. You got 3 championships. Salute to Kansas City, man. And come on, man, that's some crazy shit they did. Man has a bag. My man Patrick Mahomes had a bad game in the Super Bowl. Won 3 other ones. No 3-peat on your watch? You sure? Because I could have sworn the Bulls 3-peated twice when the Philadelphia 76ers were in the same conference. You talking about Chicago? We got a couple 3-peats on Philadelphia that y'all couldn't do nothing about, man. But yeah, man, I watched the first half. I stopped watching after the first half. Kendrick Lamar's show. I watched Kendrick Lamar's show. He's petty as hell for saying that shit about Drake. Hell yeah, their defense was on point. Okay, man, they look like They look like the Bears running up in there, man. But it was hard for me to appreciate the game because I don't really understand. I don't really watch football. Love the take from yesterday, bro. Keep up the good work. Missed the great content, but everyone needs a vacation. Continue with the great work. Blessings to you and the family. Thank you, Double Double. Yeah, I mean, I had to do some work because my mother and father, I got to do some work. So it wasn't like I was on vacation on Saturday and Sunday. I just knew I had to get some work done for the family. So I did videos on Sundays. I did a video on Sunday. Yes, Saturday, I just had to do a bunch of family stuff. Sometimes you just got to invest the time, you know. For now, how the hell is Devin the number one contender in the 147 division? By who? Who listed him as number one? The WBC? Good for him. He's undefeated. Yeah, they put him in the dirt. The WBA, I say it had to because he was a champion in the weight class below. It's fine. Fighting Mario Barrios. You know he's going the Mario Barrios route. You know they going the Mario Barrios route. If they can go that Mario Barrios route, they going that Mario Barrios route. Yes, sir. DA said, Fanon, do you think Plant and Charlo fight will happen? I hope so. I got Charlo. Yes, I do. Yes, I do think. I'm telling you, man, I am very, very beyond optimistic that the money's right over there with the PBC and these guys are making fights, man. They made Plant Benavidez. All Charlo got to do is make sure his head is all the way right and get back in that ring. He's undefeated. He has some, like myself, we had some drama in our life, man. Got to take care of your business, man. Take him a couple years, man. Better than jumping out there too soon and getting beat up. Let his brain rest. Let his mind get right because he's sitting on all that cash, all that money Charlo make. Charlo ain't complaining about being hungry. You got Plant though. Look, man, I want to see Charlo get back, man. I want to see these dudes in easy ass fights 3 times in a year, and I want to overpay them. Look, man, in the world of Fanon, where it's my money, I'm gonna fuck it. Let's overpay these people to get in the ring, but you got to get in the ring often. You got to get in the ring often. Like you got to take all the money. You can't take some of the money. You got to take all this. Take my money. You take any of my money. You got to take my money. That's what I would say in the Fanon International Boxing world of how boxing should operate. I heard who you talking about? I heard they did 200 from Ray Davis. So I'm taking Ray Davis's number. Ray Davis said 200,000. Ray Davis is who I'm going with. We have to have a battle. We have to battle against this disinformation, bro. This consistent disinformation that we have. Did you see his excellent get? You got no, man. Frequency flyer. You don't think Tank's overpaid? Frequency flyer. Anyway, this is my reality, not yours. This is my reality, not the hobnobbing reality of Turki Al-Alshikh. This is my reality I'm talking about. In my reality, I want to see these guys fight anybody. I'm sick of waiting to see them fight. If you look at the bad things that Canelo, the things that you don't like Canelo does, he makes some funny picks on some fights. If you look at the things that Canelo Alvarez does very well, is he consistently fights. You do not have to wait to see Canelo Alvarez fight. That's the one advantage he's got over everybody else because he's doing 3. He'll do 3 a year. Canelo will do 3 a year. He'll be like, that dude, bring him on, give me my money. Canelo is getting that dough because Canelo's fighting 3 times a year. And he is definitely saying who he's fighting and who he ain't fighting. So he's like, look, man, how much money you need for Benavidez? Yeah, I need 200 mil for Benavidez. In my world, there's your 200 million. Now fight Benavidez. For real, gambling is where the money is anyway, man. Apparently, in boxing, gambling and money laundering is where the money is anyway. So since apparently in boxing, gambling and money laundering is where it is, let's do it. Pay them dudes whatever they want, man. That'll clean your money. Turn around and sell them some Bugattis. You know what I'm saying? Turn around and sell them a couple Bugattis where they give you the money back. You know what I mean? Pay them to fight, sell them some Bugattis, sell them some jewelry. You know what I mean? Sell them some jewelry. You get your money back. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, look, I want to see more fights. I want more American fights, bro. I want more American fights. I do. Dr. Mark, thank you for the laughs. For real, what's up, Shoo Shoo Bang? I want more American fights. More American fights. I don't care how you get the fights anymore. Really, these dudes juicing. I don't care. These dudes, these dudes is juicing. These dudes is scrubbing money. Like, these dudes walking around with sponge cashes and sponge in their goddamn hands. You're like, God dog, man, can you guys be any more? This is my personal opinion out there in the world in general, not speaking of any in particular person. Like, God dog, y'all might as well, it looks like y'all might as well just grab a hose, grab a hose and some soap and just spray down the money. Okay, because God dog, man, if you're gonna overpay, then okay, let's go all the way in. Let's go all the way in, bro. Let's go all the way in. Because trying to redeem you dudes, you can't do it because you guys lie like rugs. Did you catch Turki Al-Alshikh getting caught lying like a rug? More American fights? Exactly. That's what I care about. I care about local American fights. Local American fights. My understanding is that Pro Box is going to have a fight card in DC on the 2nd. Dog, Black, dude, stop talking about the salute to me, man, bro. You don't like me. You're being sarcastic. I'd appreciate if you could just talk boxing. Black dude, whatever your last name is, Siifu. If you stop being a buffoon, I'll actually read your comments and I'll participate, and you can participate in the conversation. Okay? Otherwise, from here forward, bro, I'm never going to read your comments again. I don't care what you put there. Barber D, if football, baseball, basketball players make big bucks, why not boxers? Yes, give us more fights. Exactly. More fights for more money. I like this public investment fund of the United States called the Sovereign Wealth Fund. I love that name, the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Let's get that. I know they will get the Sovereign Wealth Fund done. Come on, what up, man? So that these guys can just get paid to make these fights. But if you get paid it, you got to do it. The thing with the leagues is when they pay those soccer players that money, those soccer players have to play because you got an 82-game schedule. These guys would have to trash the Muhammad Ali Act to make that happen in the United States. So what do you do in exchange for trashing the Muhammad Ali Act? You got to make sure these guys are paid a lot of money so that you don't need the law, so that these guys can have a league. You can't penny pinch these dudes in a league, which they will do eventually. Yeah, the soccer players make hella bread because soccer teams are hella valuable. Because of the gambling. Because of the gambling and the merchandising and the tickets, they're very valuable. We got to drill, baby, drill like the Saudis do. Trump will increase natural gas and oil productions. That's what's up. What's up? What's up, Martin Richards? Yeah, we got to do something. We got to get the money out there, man. We only live once, man. So let's get the money on the streets. But isn't that like more government spending? G5 Gabe, what up, man? How you feeling, sir? I don't pay attention to soccer, man. I will tell you though that I might, because I was walking down the street the other day in Texas, and there was a soccer league that was playing. Them boys could play, man. That shit was nice. Isn't Keyshawn fight? Yes, he is on the 14th. Yep. What's going on, Adrian Malinga? Yeah. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to the Eagles. Congratulations to the Eagles. I was waiting for Phenomenal Show because I was asked some questions. Do you guys pay attention to Turki Al-Alshikh at all for real? Or is it a Twitter thing? Hey, Phenomenal Show, I gave you an award on my Twitter account. Best information outside of boxing equals Phenomenal. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Hunter Young. I am honored. I am honored. Completely and utterly honored. So did y'all lose money on this? Put a one in the chat if you made some money on this Philadelphia Eagles. I thought that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win, though. I just had a feeling. George Gordon, what up, man? Thank you, man. He said the great OG. Thank you. Good to see you, brother. I do. I always wanted to know more about Turki South. Turki's a liar, bro. Turki admitted he lied, though. So does that make him honest because he admitted he lied? How am I feeling? I feel good, man. Turki Al-Alshikh, dude, freaking flyer. Can you vary your opinions a little bit? Turki Al-Alshikh did not do me a favor by making Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull. What up? What up? There you go. Phenomenal Show. What up, man? 20 got me 5. Oh, wee. Damn. What up, though, Phenomenal Noob? Oh, so you're just working on a project? Okay, for sure. NFL tried to save his last integrity of the game. Philly had to win. Looked like Patrick Mahomes was throwing the ball at the dude's feet in the first. He kept getting hit, man. There must have been some big boys on that defensive line, man. There's some big boys on that offensive line. There's some big ass boys, man. Turned 10 into 150 off the Eagles win for real. Shit, man. I should have looked at the betting. I would have made some money because I would have done that. I would have made some money off that because I was like, this seems like this dude, even though they stopped the run. His O-line has been trashed for 3 years. Who is that? You're talking about Patrick Mahomes? Hey man, they invested in other things. What's going on, Christian Chacon? How you feeling? But look, man, can we talk about something? What is greatness? What is greatness? Buddy bought the Ring magazine just to turn it into the most non-credible outlet in boxing in a matter of months. He got his bought and paid for writers looking foolish. Said he just admitted to just putting out a bunch of fake information to Ring magazine. What was the fake information? That it was going to be on the 13th because Turki Al-Alshikh didn't even check to see whether or not the 13th was available? Phenomenal Show was the one that sent to me that the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas wasn't available. But yet they put out in a report that they were going to have the fight between Terrence Crawford and Allegiant Stadium. Now Turki Al-Alshikh is saying he just put out that fake information. Let me tell you something else, man. If he put out that fake information, you know he put out other fake information. You know these dudes got some fake information going on around this joint. Okay? Fake information. Peep everything below the surface. All this shit is fugazi. This shit is fugazi as the fugaziness. That shit is super fugazi. What's up, Martin? And congratulations to the quarterback from the south side of Houston. Shout out to the black quarterback winning. My wife jinxed her team. She was like, I want to see, what's his name? Justin Hurd or something like that. Barbara D said, once you go fake, there's no believing you, in my opinion. No. Went straight fake. I mean, and admitted it. Because he had it like, come on, Turkey, you said the deal was done. Yeah, I said the deal was done. So you put it out like I say. What do you think? This is called sports washing and propaganda. That's just called propaganda. Turki Al-Alshikh admits to propaganda, which means the Boxing Rights Association of America was forced into spreading what? Can we get everybody to write in the chat propaganda? Can I get a propaganda out, you guys? Because, friends, that's exactly what that is. He decided he was going to put out a bunch of information that he, Turki Al-Alshikh, knew was not true to the media, who took that shit and put it out there unquestioned. Without going to any, now, who did you talk to, Turkey? Can we go talk to? Nope. Put it right on out there. That's why he bought them. Shady propaganda machine we got over there. Can we get a propaganda, man? Can we get a propaganda? Busted. Busted. So can I ask you a question? It's called falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. Do we remember that class? That phrase? Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. Should we check the falseness meter? Turkey admits that he lied. Made up a bunch of dates, had some people make up some posters, and put it out there like it was really news. Falsus in uno. Now, falsus uno, falsus in omnibus. Did anybody hear the report about the numbers for DAZN? How DAZN has 20 million subscribers. 20 million subscribers. But yet they have 300 million views. I'll get to your stupid shit in a second. I'll get to that dumb shit about saving us from Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez. You didn't save shit. He'll fuck around, turn around, and fight Jake Paul next year. What are you talking about? He'll go fight Jake Paul next year. What do you mean he saved us from Jake Paul? Saved you? First, he'll fight him next year. That's what you call a throwaway comment. He didn't save me from anything. I wasn't going to buy the fight. I wasn't going to buy Canelo Jake Paul. I'm not tripping on that. He didn't save me. You act like you were going to get hit by a car or some shit. Like, what do you mean? You clowns weren't saying that shit when Jake Paul, when Tyson Fury was fighting Francis Ngannou. He saved us from Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Dude, Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez is better than Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, and y'all weren't complaining about that shit. And Turki Al-Alshikh is the one to put the shit on. Why didn't Turki save us from himself? Why didn't Turki save us from himself? He was the one that put them Francis Ngannou fights on. You guys just be wow. He said he already put on a fight between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Exactly. Man, I ain't trying to get off on no other subject, frequency flyer. Go ahead and distract somebody else with some other conversation. I'm not even interested in casual distractions today out of you, frequency flyer. Grand, what's going on, Wayne Witherspoon? Grand Rising Phenom, Philadelphia in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to Philly. Congratulations to Philly. You know, I consider myself to be of a, Philly-ish. Father's from Philly. So family in Philly. So, Philly affiliated. So congrats to the Eagles. My uncle, rest in peace, was a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. Caleb talked super bad about Canelo, drug cheat accusations and all, and he got the fight. That cinnamon duck is just selective. It is. Shit, you got connections to Kansas City and Philly? Yeah, absolutely. Man, I got connections to everywhere. Like, it's hard for me to think, like, where I don't have a connection to. I'm what you call a foundational Black American. You have connections everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, I'm knowing. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got connections, what you call everywhere. Everywhere, dog. Everywhere. I ain't never been one to sit around and collect moss. Yeah, noops, Anyway. Yeah, phenomenal. Say you a noob. Like you know people everywhere. Everywhere. Can you know what it is? Canelo just fight Jake before he retired. This is known. Oh, what's up? Hey, what's going on, Queen Vaughn? Shout out to you. Hope you had a great weekend, young homie. Canelo gonna fight. Yeah, I mean, he gonna fight, man. Foundation FBA is in the building for sure. Yes, come on, man. If you've had family in the United States for like, let's say 400 years, you're related to somebody everywhere in the country. It's all family at the end of the day. It's all family at the end of the day. You are connected to many, 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 many people through your family, especially if you're indigenous to the land, which we are for sure, indigenous to this mug. Oh, let me put this link in this chat in case anybody want to chop it up about Turki Al-Alshikh's propaganda. Oh, so falsus and I lost my train of thought. Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. Phenomenal show. Thank you for the support, brother, as you always do. 25 pounds of pure muscle, baby. You see Bud trying to stick his hand in a tank curve fight, knowing he ain't needed. Shakur is going to use him as a shield too. Nah, what happened? Phenomenal show. Nah, Ace, what's up? Send me a link. Nah, I missed that, man. Oh, put up a new goal for. Oh, yes, sir. Fucks with phenomenal show, bro. Let me tell you something, dog. I'm a noob, bro. I don't know about y'all niggas, but I am somebody that really appreciates brotherhood. Like, I really, it's something that is really important. And this brother hooked me up like huge. All right, so we're going to have a goal, because I did take the weekend off, so of 20 super chats for $5 and higher. And if we do, I'll sing a song. I'll rap. What kind of coonish shit can I do for this money? I will do a minstrel show act. Men strill like thank you. That's what I'll give you for 20 super chats, because that's $100, bro. That pays for the whole chat. $100. For real, $100 is like, okay, really, just so you guys know, it costs about $150 a day to run this show. Just so you know how much it costs a day to run this show. $150 a day. That's how much it costs. So where it's like, okay, cool. I don't go to have to read a contract or go stick somebody up for money. What's going on, Shay? Thank you, brother. That's number 2. Thank you, bro. Yeah, rap. Yeah, what kind of minstrel shit can I do if we get to 20? Hello, Sammy. I will bug my eyes, bro. Hey, I'll rap. Somebody say rap to Tupac. Yeah, I'll rap to Tupac. We get to 20. Hey, MacGyver said, look, I'll leave. I'm joking. She got checked. She said, look, I'll leave. Dog, I'll sing some Willie Nelson. Barbara D, thank you. Hey, Ali, hey, thank you so much, Barbara D, for real. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Ali, Sugar Ray, all their fights were against guys with 25 losses, fighters that get KO'd. Let me tell you something. You know that if you fight somebody with 25 fights, I mean, they have like 40 fights, you're fighting somebody that knows how to fight. They've done it 40 times, bro. If they got 10 losses, okay, they got 10 losses. But there are more than 10 people in this world that know how to fight. Okay? You better be careful with somebody with 40 fights, partner. Period. You better be careful with somebody with 40 fights, bro. 30 fights and above, you better be careful with them. I don't care how many losses they get. So anyway, let me put this link in this chat. For real though, appreciate you. I have to tell you in all honesty, I will not be doing any minstrel-like activities on this show. Unless it is in caricature and an insult against somebody else. I will not be doing that. I have my standards. I am not it ain't never a bad time for you to come on here, bro.
Hey, what's good with it? Sir. What's good with it?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Hold on one second. Queen, I think I got checked. She said she'll leave if I do any type of coonish activity, bro.
Hey, you ain't got the Uncle Sam outfit?
Bro, let me tell you something. I don't know my wife will leave me if I do any coonish behavior. My mother would disown me if I do any type of coonish behavior. Like, I've never been allowed to do any bootlicking. So it's always been outlawed. It's always been out. Bootlicking has always been outlawed in my family, bro.
Right, you know that Super Bowl performance. I think it had people mad. It said Uncle Sam isn't black. They're trying to blackwash everything. They're trying to blackwash it. About that? Hey, that said nobody could understand what Kendrick was saying. Ask anybody over 40. This isn't what they want to see at the Super Bowl. He's over here making our country look bad. Why they got the American flag made out of black people? That flag isn't for them. Hey, people out there hating.
Dog. Go ahead, man.
But yeah, man. Hey, I got to start out with. Hey, I see Shakur's trainer clips.
Hey, hold on one second, man, because we got like several callers. So hold on one second. Let me run a couple because you're gonna be here for a second. Because
I got a few minutes.
All right, so let me do this. Hold on one, come on. Let me get in visit because I want this dude to have to wait. In visit Khan, what's going on with you, sir? Oh, he left. He bounced.
Okay.
Big Dog Willie, what up, man?
Yeah, I just want to say I left you a comment at the bottom. Say who's the biggest hater on your channel? I think it's Phoenix Assassin.
No.
Yes.
The biggest hater on my channel
Yes.
is Here for Bitch Ass Nigga.
Who's that?
Here for Bitch Ass Boxing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest hating. That's the biggest psychotic ass hating ass dude I've ever seen in my life, man.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
This nigga named Here for
Whoa.
Boxing is the hatingest ass dude I've ever seen in my life, bro.
If you don't know Here for Boxing, man, oh my goodness.
Okay.
He's
Maybe I miss him.
He's
Can you
psychotic.
imagine boxing hacker with roid rage? That's basically what it is, man.
The hatingest nigga ever.
Who do you hate on?
Everything.
Yours truly, bro.
No, Pink Sets, I'm just messing with you.
Hater
all
boxing,
good.
bro? So who's the hater of a boxer that work? Oh, hater, but on a regular basis.
No, I was just joking. I was trying to point fun at
Phoenix Assassin is way up there in the hater. I mean, he's like number. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He way up there now.
I be hating, but I be objective with it.
I mean, he's top 5 for sure.
I like to take that quote.
Does he come on your channel anymore? Fanon?
Who?
The dude that you said the greatest hater ever.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
I remember the last time I seen him.
Hey, what's up, Fanon?
What's going on, Kamal?
Kamal's up there too, though.
Oh, I got a question for Kamal. I got a question for Kamal.
No, I don't think Kamal's a hater.
They
bro.
call me a
I don't
hater,
think-
but I'm the truth teller.
No.
I'm keeping
Kamal's
100.
up there.
Nah, Kamal's not a hater.
Kamal's
bro.
up there.
Kamal's not a
Kamal be
hater.
hating.
Who do I be hating on?
Canelo.
Bud.
You be hating Canelo.
Canelo Alvarez. Hey, I'm here to give him his
Shakur
props.
sometimes.
I'm here to give him his props. He didn't
For
have
what?
to fight William Skull. He could have fought Jamal Charlo.
No, Canelo
out of
deserved
the
the
main
hate.
event.
Hey,
I'm here to
So
give
why-
him his props.
did you want him to
deserved the
fight?
hate.
Did you want him to fight Skull last September though?
Yes, I was saying
Okay.
he was going to duck the mandatory because I predicted, Fanon can tell you, for over a year and a half that he would duck William Skull and duck the IBF mandatory.
Okay, good.
And I predicted he'd get stripped a second time, but I'm here to call a spade a spade. I'm fair.
Okay,
He deserves.
'cause I agree-
he deserves
I agree with you
complete
on that.
praise.
I
He
agree with
deserves
you on that
complete-
because I was like, I didn't think that Berlanga was a good fight. I know with Skull, the only problem was people don't know him. And people like, even though that people was talking about Canelo at one point should have fought David Morrell.
David
look at
Benavidez, Dave Morrell, a whole bunch of people.
but even then, William Skull got 4 times the amateur background as Morrell does. And he got 30 fights compared to Morrell's 11. So like he still would have been a better opponent than David Morrell, but people
Well, I'm not
because they
gonna
don't
say
know
that.
they don't know who
I'm
he
not going to
is.
say that
I'm
either.
not going to say
Phoenix
that.
says that's
I'm
not
not
going
going
too
to say
far.
that. He
That's
definitely
going too far.
Because he
David
got that
Morrell-
Cuban style. He got that Cuban
No,
style.
he's a better fighter.
He definitely does. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. You have to remember, man, David Morrell, they maneuvered around him. Bumlanga maneuvered around him. John Ryder maneuvered around him. He was supposed to fight those guys. And then those guys ended up ducking and getting the Canelo fight. And Gilberto Mendoza at the WBA did a lot of maneuvering to keep David Morrell away from Canelo.
Well, John Ryder got the fight with Canelo because he took the fight that Andre pulled out of.
Exactly.
And fought for the mandatory spot for the WBO. So
And
that was why he got there.
And who was criticizing Boo Boo Andre from ducking Zach Parker and pulling out of that WBO mandatory?
Me.
I was criticizing him. Both of us were.
I've been criticizing Andre since 2014, man.
Hey, I'm
Since
about
he
to get
pulled
off
out
of
that
here.
fight with
Fanon,
Charlo.
Kamal, Phoenix, I'm out of here.
All right, Will.
All right, take it easy.
Bet.
So
Take it easy.
I will say this, Fanon. Did you see Turkey's interview with Mike Coppinger?
Oh, Jesus.
Man.
I watched
Hey,
it.
he Bob Arum 2.0. Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth.
Exactly.
Hold on.
And let me tell you something.
Can I answer the question?
Okay.
You asked me the question. You know I was waiting for that one. Man, that lying motherfucker, man. Oh, I'm sorry, mama. That lying. I can't believe. Is that nigga high? Dude, you just admitted to purposely putting out propaganda to Ring Magazine that you own. Dude, you just trashed Ring Magazines. Ring Magazine has no credibility. because they didn't do any checks on that. That was straight out of his mouth, straight to them. And he admitted that he told them to do that purposely. You can't believe anything the dude says. That's what I think.
You're right. Number one, he admitted to a strategy that he had. And this is why I don't say that this
Can you
guy
explain what he
is
did,
the
though?
Messiah.
Can you
This is what.
explain what he
Go ahead,
did,
sorry.
though? Can you explain what he did, though? Because you're very, very good at that. Explain what he did so everybody knows.
What he's trying to do is he's trying to co-opt Canelo versus Benavidez with Canelo and Crawford. Because if you really paid attention to that interview, he's pissing on your leg and trying to say it's rain. Why? Because he says Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight in boxing. We know that's fake. That's false news. And then he's in that same interview with Coppinger, he said Canelo Crawford may be the biggest fight in boxing history. Again, propaganda, a lie. We know that everybody knows Canelo Benavidez is much bigger, 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger than Canelo versus Crawford. And he said also in that interview he's going to try to make the Benavidez fight, but Benavidez wasn't mentioned. So what he did was, if you paid really attention to what Canelo said about fighting Bud Crawford and Benavidez, initially he said he didn't want to fight either one because he didn't gain anything from fighting Crawford. But if the money's right, he'll fight him. Okay, so what Turki said in that interview, without no uncertain words, was, we met because Canelo wanted to fight before Crawford, so we gave him the farm. We overpaid him to get a fourth fight, and however much he's going to make per fight. And we met his demand because Crawford is my guy, and I want him to get the Canelo fight. And then Benavidez is just like chopped liver. I don't care about that. So he favored and gave Canelo what he wanted to make the Crawford fight, which was a 4-fight deal. And he's trying to co-opt Crawford and Benavidez and Canelo, and assigning that to Crawford and Canelo, which doesn't make sense at all. That's what my interpretation of that interview was.
My interpretation of the interview was he's holding Canelo's hand, not the other way around. So that's why Canelo's getting that money that he wants and gonna do whatever he wants. Because like I think they got a 4-5 deal, but I don't think it's anything like, oh, they got 4 opponents in place and it's definitively these 4 opponents. I know Canelo wants that belt for Skull. That helps kind of hype up the Terrence Crawford fight, so they can say, hey, Crawford's going for undisputed in a 3rd weight class, and then the other 2 fights, who cares? Because Canelo probably gonna fight like whoever he wants at that point, as long as he doesn't have like another mandatory to take care of. So that's the way that I see it going.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to agree with Skull being better than Morrell. I'm just patently not going to agree with. I think he gets knocked out, but like I said,
I think it's the worst style for Canelo. I think it's the worst style for Canelo because of that movement. If you got a guy that move well enough, like as far as Morrell, he ain't got the movement that you normally see out of Cuba. No, he doesn't
fight normally. He's not fighting slick. There's another guy in that light heavyweight division. They'll keep Canelo away from him. He's another Cuban, Alexis Hernandez. That is a guy that Canelo definitely won't fight. But yeah, you said it right. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I wanted the Skull fight. Still think Crawford is nothing more than a cash grab. And I want to tell you this, Fanon, or ask you this, and ask Phoenix the Assassin. So the WBO, because they're totally anti-Heyman, they blocked Fundora versus Spence. They wouldn't sanction it. So since Crawford has only one fight at 154, hasn't fought at 160, and it'll be his first fight at 168, are they going to sanction Crawford, Canelo for Undisputed? Will the WBO have the same standard, the hard standard they had on Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo for Crawford and Canelo?
You know why? Because WBO, for some reason, favors their black champions, as long as they're not without Heyman. That's the thing right there. With Andre, whenever he was champion, moved up, he got a title shot immediately. They're gonna do the same thing with Bud because Bud's not without Heyman.
Yep, you nailed it.
Oh,
They made it a point to strip Jermell Charlo as soon as he walked in the ring with Canelo, because he didn't fight Tim Tszyu. And then they made it a point not to sanction Errol Spence versus Fundora. And so they're going to look like hypocrites. We already know they were part of the lawsuit against Al Heyman and PBC way back when with Golden Boy. But they're going to look even more hypocritical for sanctioning Undisputed when Crawford hasn't even fought.
Speaking of that, Speaking of that, see what the WBC did with Haney? Moved him to number one in their rankings for 147, and he ain't even fought there yet. It looked like they're trying to give him another title in the middle of training camp again. Mm.
What happened to Mario Barrios?
Yeah, Mario Barrios is still champion, but they're talking about Devin Haney is ranked number one at 147, right behind him.
He is. He ranked WBC ranked him number one, and I don't
Coming,
necessarily have a problem with that because
I
it's
do.
been.
I'll tell you why. Because people was out there talking smack about Gary Antoine Russell getting his title fight next, even though he ranked number 3 and been at the weight class he's in. And Devin ain't even fought in the weight class. He coming off an ass whooping and a suing and a year off. Come on now. That shouldn't earn you number one in the weight class you ain't never been in.
Nah, can y'all hear me?
We don't care, frequent.
Oh, you can hear me. What's up, y'all? What's going on, Kamal? Salute for now. Oh, y'all.
Look at you trying to interject. Go
What's
interject,
up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up? You gonna speak?
They don't need.
Okay.
Hey, dog, you just obviously butted in, nigga. You said
No,
can't I hear you?
my connection
I'll say
like
one
it
more
might not
thing.
be all that smooth. So yeah, I
I
do got
don't like
something
the
to say.
dog whistles, dog. I don't like the dog whistles, dog. Don't be trying to do no little mind tricks you be doing, bro. Anyway,
I'm about to hop off, so I'm gonna say one more thing.
What do you say? Hold on a second, freaking flyer, because you just bumped in. I got you though. I was gonna say what's up to you in a second. Give me a second. What's going on? So finish up what you were saying.
I'll just say this one more thing because I ain't got to the hate yet. I seen this recent training clip with Shakur, and man, I see why he was complaining about how Ratunia moving and how he needs to work on cutting out the ring because he was working with his trainer on using them noodles for mid work, and what happened was his trainer had maneuvered his back to the ropes, and Shakur followed him right. And I don't know if it's just because his trainer don't teach him or because Shakur don't think about it, but it would have been a perfect opportunity. He could have told Shakur, hey, you got me in the corner. Go ahead and slide over. Use some lateral movement to keep me here on the ropes. But now, like, he just circled around. And, of course, Shakur followed him, just like he did in the Haratunian fight. And I'm like, well, how you train is how you fight. If you're not training on cutting out the ring, you're not about to be cutting out the ring. So if people be moving on him, man, it's just going to be follow the leader up in that thing. And he ain't going to be able to cut him off, and then he's going to have some more excuses. So he better hope. He better hope that his next opponent don't know a damn thing about moving. He better hope that Schofield just comes straight forward, do a whole Sean Porter style type of fight and don't give him nothing to think about. So that way he can have some target practice. Because if Schofield switch it up and start boxing on him and start using some athleticism to stay away, there's going to be problems. And it's going to be sad. And we're going to see that whatever ring IQ they thought he had, he ain't got. Because ring IQ, shoot, it applies to everything in boxing, whether it's moving away, whether it's cutting off the ring, whether it's making adjustments, shot placement, making your opponent fall into your game plan. That all counts. You can't just say because somebody moved out the way of a shot that's high IQ. There's more that goes into it than that. And with that, I'll say I can't wait to see how that fight play out. But I'm even more excited to see this Keyshawn Davis next week. I want to see how that one goes. And I'll go ahead and leave y'all with that.
Go ahead, flyer frequency. Flyer frequency. You're not.
Oh, my bad. You can hear me now. You can hear me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. So with the Canelo versus William Skull, if Canelo beat William Skull, then he's going to be undisputed again. That'll make him 2 times undisputed. Then when he fights, but it's going to be 2 times undisputed versus 2 times undisputed. So I think when Turki Al-Alshikh is talking about the biggest fight in boxing, he's not talking. Money is not the object that he's talking about here. I think he's talking about accolades and everything. So he's talking legacy. So he's talking legacy. So that's definitely a bigger fight than Benavidez versus Canelo. Because it's undisputed 2 times versus undisputed 2 times.
Dude, you running down the street on me? Can you hold on? When you said, give me Derek Benny. What's going on, Derek?
Martin,
what's going on, man?
all
good, man. Frequency, you really think that that's the same thing as being an undisputed twice? Is that you get stripped of your belt and then you beat the person that got your belt in the very next fight? That's like I guess that is, but that is
Yeah, I was
Come
gonna
on,
say
man.
in
That's
history
some.
that'll count as 2 times undisputed. So you have a 2 times undisputed guy versus a 2 times undisputed
I
guy.
mean, you're play, if
You
you
know,
want to play media games, bro. But come on, man. That ain't no.
you don't think that's
I
a
don't
bigger
think.
fight though,
I don't.
Fanon? That's definitely a bigger fight than
I'm not caring
No,
about the
no,
size of
I
the
don't
because
fight.
agree
I'm just
on
I
talking
that.
don't
about the
agree with
fact.
that.
Fly.
Hold
I
on,
when
don't
y'all
agree
talk.
on
I
that.
know you don't
hold on,
agree. I'm disagreeing with
hold on.
Kamal because
Goddamn, frequency flyer, bro. You're the one that always starts to cutting people off, bro, and it becomes infectious.
I'm the one getting cut off though. I had the floor, didn't I? All right, I'm gonna chill. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't agree on that. Frequent fly. I mean, the thing about it is Canelo is picking and choosing who he wants to fight. That's one. Two, the dude that he bought to fight now, the last fight that he just fought didn't do so well. So that'll be an easy fight for Canelo, even though he's undefeated.
Oh yeah, you right. You 100% right. I don't think that it's Canelo's hardest fight or nothing like that. I'm just talking about the legacy and the accolades that's involved in the fight. He'll become 2 times undisputed, and
Dude,
then
you're
you got
just
Bud.
that to
Then it's
me sounds like some shit you're just making up.
how am I making up? What am I saying that's not true?
No, because look at what's happening. Technically speaking, yes, he's become undisputed twice. But dude, how did he become undisputed twice? Because he got stripped of a belt and the guy that was his mandatory was given it and then they fought. That's
It
not
don't
the
matter,
same. Look, come on, man. I mean, if you want to say that, nobody's thinking about that stuff 5 years from now. Like, come on, man. That's not some big
bro.
legacy thing that's not some big legacy thing that he beat William Skull for a belt that he already had and was stripped from him because they didn't fight him at a specific time. Has William Skull even defended that belt?
In history, they're not going to wonder
Has
how he
William Skull
became undisputed twice.
defended
They're
that
just
belt?
going to say
Dude, you're
they're
just
just going to say he
talking
was
shit,
undisputed
Fire.
twice.
That's that Devin Haney is a historic fighter type logic. Bro, ain't nobody
Why
give a
always
fuck
got to
5 years
bring
from now
Devin
about
Haney
that
back
shit,
in the
bro.
mix, bro?
Because I want to point out the fact that you just make up that's some exaggerated PR shit. The
You're
man
saying
that
I'm
fights
making it up
Will.
though, but everything is
No, stop
100%
cutting me off,
accurate.
bro. You can stop cutting me off anytime you want. I am saying William Skull is not some legacy win for Canelo Alvarez just because he had a belt that Canelo Alvarez just had.
Most definitely.
That's not some shit that somebody's going to be thinking of 5 years. That's like you work for a media, it's like you sound like you work for ESPN or something. That's what I
No,
mean by that statement. It's like you're trying to, it's like a statistic that nobody, it doesn't mean anything. He
I'm not.
already held that belt. I don't even know if William Skull has even defended that belt yet. Has he?
He has not. And one clarification, Fanon. He did get stripped for ducking William Skull, but William Skull had to fight Vladimir Shishkin in a very competitive fight. Many people thought Shishkin won
I
to
thought he
become
won.
IBF champion. So
That,
I
I
see
mean,
what
that's fair, but you get my
I
point, though.
thought he won.
yeah, no, he hasn't defended it, and I disagree with flyer frequency because again, he's trying to give way too much credence, and he's giving way too much to Turkey. This is no way. Crawford and Canelo's not a big fight. It's a freak show fight. It's a cash grab. It is not what Benavidez and Canelo is. It's even Dana White, who was working with Turkey back when Turkey was criticizing Canelo for ducking Benavidez. You remember that. You remember the tweet, and I think I've sent it to you for now, where he went in on Canelo for ducking Benavidez.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Benavidez Canelo is the biggest fight. Now, the fact is, Crawford will once again let someone else do all the heavy lifting in the division and become undisputed if he beats Canelo, just like he did with Errol Spence. But that is what it is. But I understand what Flyer Frequency is saying. I totally disagree with it.
Come on, but I wasn't saying that William Skull versus Canelo is a big fight. I was saying that once he beats William Skull and get his belt back, he'll be 2 times undisputed. Chance will be 2 times undisputed, and you'll have two people that's 2 times undisputed fighting each other. When you ever had that, bro? Never. So how could David Benavidez versus Canelo be a bigger fight than Canelo versus
You absolutely
Bud?
have. That's a lie.
Yes,
That's a lie, bro.
You have.
Not in no 3 belt or 4 belt era.
Now
You got to go all the way back when it was 1 belt and stuff like that.
Who the fuck do you work for, man? Do you work for somebody?
I'm just a hardcore boxing fan. I'm just not a casual like a lot of these other guys, man.
Frequency Flyer. You are seriously investing in some serious propaganda right now. You are trying to act like a win. You're acting like a win, like the fight with William Skull somehow elevates the fight between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez because it's now two-time undisputed fighters. Bullshit, bro.
Okay, you want to take that one undisputed away? It'll still be undisputed Canelo versus him.
I'm not done talking. Dude, that is just some let me try to write some headline type bullshit, bro.
Jake, the winner will be 3 times undisputed.
Nobody, dude, stop making. Who cares?
I'm not making nothing up, bro. It's all facts.
You're just trying to assign.
You're saying who cares because, but everybody cares. That's a lot of people care.
What practical? Okay, what practical effect? What practical effect does Canelo Alvarez fighting William Skull have on the financial relevance of the Terrence Crawford fight with Canelo?
That's the thing. You can only downplay the fight when you want to talk about financials. We're not talking about financials.
Again, I actually am going to honor you with a question. Instead of trying to get you to drop the bullshit, I'm going to actually ask you a question. So don't skip out of the question. Answer the question. What is the financial effect on Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez? What financial effect does him fighting William Skull have? Does it make it monetarily a bigger fight?
Monetarily, it does too.
No,
because you got another.
Get the fuck out of my face, bro. You be selling bullshit. Do you work for Turkey?
Fanon, if you got another sanctioning body.
Are you part of the Turkey?
I'm still answering this question here. If you have another sanction,
you already answered it. You answered the question, bro. You answered it.
You're involved in another.
You said yes. You answered the question. You said yes.
How could it not be a bigger monetary fight if another sanctioning body is involved?
William Skull isn't going to affect it at all.
You're adding another sanctioning body because he'll get that belt.
So no worry. Do you think that him fighting William Skull financially increases the fight with Terrence Crawford? Then you should never have a problem with Gervonta Davis fighting anybody.
Well,
because it's all going to increase the finance of the next fight. So he fights Lamont Roach, don't complain. If he fights Leo Santa Cruz, don't complain. If he fights I don't care who, don't complain. Because William Skull was somebody that elevated a Terrence Crawford fight. And you ain't know who the fuck William Skull was 3 weeks ago. But okay.
I ain't know who Lamont Roach was either.
That's my point.
The dynamics of the fight.
That's my point. So since you didn't know who either one of them were, and you say that beating that guy is a big deal, then beating Lamont Roach has to be a big deal too.
Exactly. And what makes them both a big deal? That belt that's added in, right? The belt.
Let me tell you something, man. We're gonna move off that because I'm glad you said some shit we all know you do not believe and will not repeat later.
I've been saying that the whole long.
You've been saying that Lamont Roach is a great fight for Gervonta Davis?
I was saying it's a fight. It's a good fight because he got a belt, because he's a champion. That's why I'm not complaining about
you said it.
But if he wasn't a champion, that fight would be mud, bro.
So you didn't complain about.
There's a lot of people who are already saying that the fight is trash. But
so you didn't have a problem when Gervonta Davis fought Hector Luis Garcia.
That's a whole different thing.
No, it's not. He's got the same belt Lamont Roach has. It's the same situation.
I actually didn't have a problem with that.
You did.
I didn't. What did I say? What did I ever say about that fight? Who do you work
for? I want to know, Frequency Flyer.
What?
Who do you work for, bro? Who do you work for, bro? Because you are selling every bit of bullshit. Turki Al-Alshikh, who just admitted that he has propaganda machines going through the internet.
No, he said he did us all a favor and got Canelo out of fighting.
What he said was is that he lied.
Jake Paul, that's what he did.
Said he lied. He said he lied.
If
I'm talking about him saying that he lied. I'm talking about the fact that he said he lied.
So what that mean?
Lying means he specifically told somebody something that he knew was not true.
So what that mean? Don't promoters do that all the time?
He's not a promoter.
I don't give a shit. It means he's a liar. That's what it means.
Why y'all trying to jump me though? Why y'all double teaming me?
It means that he is a liar, is what it means. I don't care what his job is. He's a liar. That's what the fuck it means. It means he's a liar. It means he's somebody who will tell you something that is not true. And he will work with the media, and he will work with the media to spread things that are not true to boxing fans. So
but there's a language barrier there for now. Can't nobody up here say exactly they knew what Turki Al-Alshikh was talking about because there's a language barrier there. So you don't know if he lied.
Turki Al-Alshikh said he lied.
He didn't say I lied.
He was speaking English, Frequency Flyer.
Yeah, but he don't speak English that well though. There's a language barrier there.
Nigga, how bad
just like he thought he didn't want. Just like you thought he wasn't interested in seeing Gervonta Davis fight, but he did.
Bro, shut up. You're trying to say there's a language barrier when the man is speaking English? I speak fluent English.
He don't speak it that well though. He might say some words that
you don't know. So you mean he didn't mean to say it? So you don't know what he said?
We don't know, man.
So therefore, why the fuck are you quoting the nigga then? You quote him every time he speaks English. You seem to know what he thinks. He knows what he means when he says one thing or another thing. But all of a sudden, you don't know what he says. But
no, we do our best to try to put it together.
No, bro.
We do our best to try to interpret it and put it together.
You know when he's saying that he's trying to save the world from a fucking Jake Paul fight, you understood him. How the fuck don't you understand him when he says he's lying?
No, I think that was the end result.
Bro, it's in the same interview. You understand.
I'm saying that was the end result, though.
Bro, stop this, Frequency Flyer. You understood him when you said that he said he was saving the fucking world from Jake Paul Canelo. You understand that, but you don't understand it when he said he lied because there was a language barrier.
He didn't actually say that he was saving us from Canelo Paul. I said that
at the end of the conversation.
He didn't say, he didn't come out and say,
bro. Who do you work for?
The city of Philadelphia, and we just won the Super Bowl, bro.
Who do you work for on your spare time? Who's your side hustle, bro?
My kids, I guess. My kids.
Why didn't you tell the truth? It's supposed to be fly. You're supposed to be your side. Whatever. Anyway,
what am I not telling the truth about now, man?
I'm not going to get into that. All I know is you're trying to literally tell me that you have a language barrier in one part of the conversation with Turki Al-Alshikh, but there's not a language barrier. There's not a language barrier in the same conversation.
Fanon, if Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight and they both are undisputed 2 times,
you're changing the subject back to the last ass whooping you took, sir. You said that Turki Al-Alshikh said that he was saving boxing from Canelo and Jake Paul. You understood that. But when he said he was lying, you say there's a language barrier. How could you understand one if there was a language barrier? How could you understand that if there's a language barrier?
Let's go over what he said, Fanon.
Let's not go over what he said because you said there's a language barrier. There's no need to go over it. You said there's a language barrier.
He said I was putting out information to make people go to the other side, right? And that's what he said.
You said you don't understand it. Nigga, go away. Anyway, Frequency Flyer, that's enough time, bro. Come back in about 20 minutes. I'm going to let these other dudes talk. What's up, Derek? Derek Benyon, you stuck. You went outside. Now you gone. Sorry, man. Come on back.
Hey, Fanon.
Yes, sir.
You want to get to the super chats?
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, man. I need these super chats. It's been rough out here on these streets. Thank you. Come on back later, Phoenix. I know Frequency Flyer working for somebody. That shit's fucking crazy how he does that. But pay him more money because he's the only one that can manage to. Oh my God, he's terrible. Frequency. Floyd and McGregor was bigger than anything they'll put on. It wasn't for any belts. Big on paper equals big money. I mean, he's being a promoter. That is true. But if he's lying, he's lying. It don't matter if you're a promoter or not. If you're lying, you're lying. Richard Paris said he is definitely a tool of the rehab misinformation campaign, abandoning logic to appease the boxing messiah. I mean, hey, man, it's a good gig if you can get it. Nobody ever offers me that type of buffoonery. Phoenix says the Tank versus Ryan was for no belts. It's bigger than this. Oh, yeah. Him and these other people don't want to admit that they are for Turki because their favorite fighters was with them. They're also against Al Hamas because Tank is with him 100%. And Phoenix Assassin said, when no more lies can be told, tell the truth to gain trust, then lie more. God dang. Season your soup of lies lightly with the salt of truth. Book of Haney. God, y'all, that shit, you need to actually write that shit down. I mean, for real, I need to store that.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant, Phoenix.
like, damn, that shit was profound. When no more lies can be told, tell the truth to gain trust, then lie more. Season your soup of lies lightly with the salt of truth. You know that. So what's up? Go ahead, Kamal. Thank you, man. I couldn't do that with Phoenix. I'm with Frequency Flyer.
Well, I don't know how you tolerate the guy because he was just clearly lying. And Turki speaks excellent English. I taught English overseas for 5 years, and I could tell you Turki would be in an advanced English. He tweets like he speaks very good English. So when Flyer Frequency is trying to introduce this stuff about him not speaking English, he's just lying to cover for his guy because, again, he's overly deferential to Turki. Maybe it's due to his favorite fighter being affiliated with him or something. I don't know the reason. I can't speculate. But with this, everyone knows that Turki's the one pushing Canelo Crawford. It's not a natural fight. It's not the biggest fight in boxing. With how much he's having to pay Crawford for that fight and Canelo, I think that fight is going to lose a lot of money. It's going to lose more than the $10 million that they spent on Crawford versus Madrimov, or that they lost on, Crawford versus Madrimov, because Canelo said, for me to fight Crawford, the money's got to be right. And Turki gave him the farm for that fight instead of doing what everybody else would do, which was combine the last two fights on that deal and meet Canelo's asking price to fight David Benavidez, which would probably be, what do you say, 200 million? So I'm betting that they haven't released the financials yet on this 4-fight deal. But if Turki were all about the sport of boxing and not only supporting the guys that are affiliated with him, he would have made sure that David Benavidez was in this deal, and he would have given Canelo the money for David Benavidez. Again, and Flyer Frequency is trying to spin for the guy. Turki is pissing on you and trying to tell you it's rain by hyping up this Crawford-Canelo fight. It's not a big fight. It's a circus show. It's a money grab, and he's going to lose a lot of money with how much he's paying both of those guys for the fight.
Man, Turki is not into it for the fans. He just admitted he was lying to them. He's not the messiah of boxing, dude. That action right there proved it. He's self-interested, man. He's self-interested like everybody else is. I have no idea how how other people aspire to this guy, some sainthood. He's into it for himself. They are literally acting like the only thing he wants to do is he wants to make things great for everybody. Fuck world you live in, man. This dude just sat up there and told you that he is, what he's there for. He's there to make fights in Saudi Arabia, dude, because he works for the Saudi Arabian, he gets his money from the Saudi Arabian government. Like, man, just stop with the bullshit, man. And now when did they buy Ring Magazine? Oscar De La Hoya sold that to them?
Yeah, he sold it to them, and he sold the WBA. I think the WBA has an exclusive deal with Turki now. And I'm fair. I give Turki praise when he deserves it, like getting us Beterbiev and Bivol 1 and 2. He was the one who got that over the line and dealt with the bureaucracy from the WBC and Arum and the discrimination against Bivol. So I'll give him credit, but he's not a messiah, dude. I mean, in that interview with Coppinger, if you really pay attention to it, he said basically, Crawford is my guy. And he tried to lie, and he lied, and he said that Benavidez and Crawford Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing, and it's not. Everyone with an infantile brain knows that. Even Dana White has said that he was going to go up against Canelo unless he gives us the Benavidez fight. Everybody wants to see that fight, but Turki has his guy, which is Crawford, and that's fine. He stood behind Crawford, and he's willing to overpay Canelo to get Crawford the fight. And hey, that's what it is. It's his prerogative. But you cannot act like he's this messiah who does things for altruistic purposes. He has his guys. I mean, again, he's no better than any of these other guys, in my opinion. You know, the only thing is, hey, 3 of Canelo's 4 fights are in Saudi Arabia. I'm not a Canelo fan. I never was, because he came in the game very spoiled and was able to maneuver around a lot of the big fights that he was supposed to fight, and
Right.
a lot of the fights he was supposed to fight. But hey, it's good for him. I'm not a Canelo fan. His fans won't be able to see 3 or 4 of his fights unless they go to Saudi Arabia, unless they have that money, and they can't drink alcohol there. They can't eat pork there. So I don't think many of them will be going to Saudi Arabia.
I really think that I mean, even if Canelo do fight Crawford, I don't even think the ticket sales is even going to sell. I really
Canelo and Crawford?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to sell like that.
And because that's not going to be, I think they're starting to say that's going to be in the U.S. I think that's supposed to be in the U.S. I don't know.
That's the only U.S. fight. That's in Vegas. But I agree with this guy. He's saying, I said it's going to lose money. It's not going to be a huge fight that Turkey's making it out to be. Crawford,
Not
it's
with
a
that
spectacle.
payday.
It's a sideshow.
And to be
Not with that
honest, I
payday.
think Canelo going to beat Crawford.
Oh, yeah, he's going to knock him out, man. He's going to, one of two
Too
things.
small.
Yeah, way too
The
small.
last fight that Crawford fought, when he fought Matrimov, he touched him up a little bit. And normally you don't see Crawford getting hit like that. So it's like his age is starting to show a little bit, but for you to try to go up and fight Canelo, that's going to be an ugly fight. That's going to be an ugly fight.
Well, it's a cash grab. It's a cash grab because we know that Crawford is not doing this for legacy. He has nothing to lose. Instead of moving up properly like Andre Ward did when HBO tried to set him up by keeping him away from Bumlovkin and fight Kovalev, and he insisted on getting those tune-ups, Crawford's not even doing that. He's just going to stay home until apparently he's not taking the tune-up fight at all. He basically moving up, as Jake Paul said, 3 weight classes to fight Canelo, because that one fight at 154 was controversial. Many people thought Madrimov won. So again, it's a freak show fight. I don't see any way Crawford beats Canelo, but hey, look, it's a cash out fight. But Crawford, you need to drop the belt. He needs to drop the 154 WBA belt because he's not fighting there. And I think that irregardless of what happens, if he manages to beat Canelo or loses, he's not going back to 154. So let the guys at 154 compete with it, because, I mean, there's no point in him holding it hostage, same way Canelo's been holding a lot of the the division hostage at 168 by not fighting the best guys.
Right. I want to say this too. I don't know why it's a lot of rumors going around that Tank is fired Kelvin Ford. And let me say this. I'm from Baltimore. I am literally from Baltimore. My son boxes with Kelvin Ford at Upton. I see Kelvin, I see Kenny, I see Squeeze, I see Senior, I see all of them. Only time that I probably don't see, because his fight is coming up. The only time now I see Kelvin in the gym, but I didn't see Kenny. So 9 times out of 10, Kenny is at the gym with Tank. And if Kelvin is not there and Kenny is there, or they both not there, they train in Tank. So all that rumor bullshit going around talking about Tank fired Kelvin Ford and Kenny, it's a bunch of bullshit. And then at the same time, I know Tank as well. So I would have heard that in the gym just by going up there. I go up there frequently to see my son spar on Wednesdays, and Kelvin and all them be there. So that's a bunch of bullshit. I would have been heard that shit, as far as, excuse my French, as far as the rumors going around on that. That's a
man.
Yes.
It's the same people saying the same shit. That's what
Blue Blood said it too, Mr. Martin. And I had to dip it in the butt on him. I said, yo, stop going around with people tell you on that BS, man. Like, come on, man. I'm from Baltimore. My son literally boxed at Upton. I actually be in Upton. I see Kelvin, all them. Stop lying. Whoever running this rumor need to stop it. It's just BS.
It's the same people, man. And it's not the first time they've said the same thing. That story runs probably at least once a year.
Every fight. They say it every fight.
Yeah. Every fight.
It's just nerve-wracking.
No, but it's nerve-wracking if you don't like I can make a video about I can damn near make a video about what somebody's going to say before they say it. But it's again that's why it's so, if you look at it and you look what happened with Turki Al-Alshikh, that's so insidious.
Right.
Because he's admitting that he did that and he got caught, right? Because it was a big thing. But he's doing that, the people that he's doing it with, dude, those people are going to go out and spread those same things to other people as well. That's why I asked, I asked Frequency Flyer that with all honesty. Who is your side gig with? Because you are literally giving me a line that somebody would write in a public relations firm. Right. How can we sell? I mean, think about it. How can we sell Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez and William Skull being the person that leads us into that fight? Because you're going to have to like both William Skull, Canelo, and we're going to have to make them like Canelo versus Terrence. So what kind of line can we use? Oh, well, William Skull has this title, so he's actually fighting for Undisputed twice. So now we can market this as two-time undisputed. These are the same people that will tell you that Teofimo Lopez is not undisputed. Even though the entire lead into the fight, it was advertised as undisputed. The WBC says it's undisputed, but you can't get it past these people for anything that the WBC said he was the champion. No, it's just not that way. Right. But then you get this. So what I'm saying is that to me, it sounds like all these dudes are part of the same money grab. Right. Money grab for the fighter, money grab for the media talking about the fighter, money grab for YouTube content creators or people that are coming in and playing ghost account for other people. This shit is absolutely ridiculous. That's why Frequency Flyer, you're gonna get shut up again. Because all you do is repeat talking points. Dog, you are so.
But now let me say this about Flyer Frequency. They were on my live when that interview dropped with Turki, and I played exactly what he said, and they still argue with me about. Well, he literally said, "I'm gonna be honest. For the last 48 hours, I've lied to everybody." He literally said that out of his mouth, and they still denied it. Like, I don't understand. And if you look back, you can see they did the same thing to Boots with that whole duck campaign that came out. And when it happened, and I came out and made a video and I said, y'all, this is not genuine or authentic. There's no way that these many people believe that Boots Ennis really ducked Virgil Ortiz. And it's not just the fact that he put out the information. It's the fact that Virgil Ortiz started putting stuff up about Boots being a duck. Oscar De La Hoya started putting stuff up about Boots being a duck. So you got this whole syndicate going around putting out this information, and it's not even true. Right. And then he did the same thing with Zane and Bacoli. And it's like he has a history of doing this. Now we know for sure he's doing it because he's came out and admitted it. So once again, he lied. He said he bought the Ring magazine for it to be quote unquote unbiased, but you bought it to spread propaganda and pressure fighters to do what you want them to do. And then they say, oh, well, everybody does that. So does it make it right because everybody does it? Do they come out and say they did it? And do they do it this aggressively? And can you please point me to an example of anybody else doing this aggressively like this?
I'm gonna go ahead and
I don't understand it.
I'll hit y'all
so
up
now,
later.
All right, man, get back there.
All right.
Go ahead, 2 Cent.
So now it's just like, Turki, you've lost all credibility. And I'm not sure how real this whole thing is with Canelo and Dre, because I still it's still like a little question mark in the back of my head. But if you really did snatch Canelo from a big deal like that, there will be repercussions for you in the boxing world. They just don't let stuff slide like that.
That's it. I mean, I don't even know, man. The dude said he lied. So I'm not taking what he even says in the middle of his talking about what I was lying. That's today I was lying. Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth. Who knows, man, what's going on with these dudes? They're just not trustworthy at all. But that's the person that's going to save boxing. The person is lying for. If you that wealthy, you can make fights that easy. What you lying for?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what the specific lie was that he was telling Kamal?
Which lie? What do you mean?
When he
which lie?
said that he was lying, what did he specifically? What things did they put out there that he was lying about? Did he say?
I
When he
think he
said,
was making reference to the Jake Paul Canelo fight being close to a done deal. That's the way I interpreted it. And then he definitely, I'm going to agree with 2 Cents. He definitely tried to assassinate Boots' character. And the only one who spoke up for Boots was somebody that was not in his camp, was Steven Espinoza, because Eddie Hearn didn't even say anything to say, and that's his promoter now,
because he
Eddie
can't say
Hearn.
nothing because he got to lick Turkey Boots.
I
But
mean, he
I think
basically, go
but let
ahead.
me
Sorry.
answer for nine. I think the misinformation that he was talking about was because if you paid attention, we had fight talks for Canelo Crawford. We had an agreement for Canelo Crawford. We had a place, time, and location for the fight all in 3 days. And then we had a cancellation all in 48 hours. So I think that's what he means when he says that he lied to everybody and put out this information to make people go to the other side.
I agree. I think he admitted to feeding the media what it wanted to hear about first Crawford being on, then cancel. I agree with everything she just said, what 2 Cents said. And he admitted that, hey, look, it was just going to be a 3-fight deal, but then Canelo called me in 5 minutes. We got the 4-fight deal. And again, I've criticized PBC because they got 3 fights out of Canelo that they shouldn't have paid for. Jamel Charlo was a cash grab, same thing that this Terrence Crawford fight, and they tried to build that undisputed versus undisputed, but Jamel Charlo was taking all the risk by going up to 168. They didn't meet halfway, and then the Bumlonga and the Jaime Munguia fight were jokes. I mean, those shouldn't have even happened. And so PBC, I mean, Al Heyman says to people, do whatever you can, make the most money you can, and at the end of the day, after these 4 fights, Fanon has it 100% right. Canelo will fight Jake Paul because the fight even got bigger now with Jake Paul, because Jake Paul has a gift of gab. Like him or hate him, he can promote a fight and he'll be big no matter what. He's already big. So he and Canelo are going to fight at the end of this 4-fight deal. There's just too much money left on the table. But yeah, Turkey admitted to feeding the media in that interview with Coppinger. You really got to pay attention. I know Flyer Frequency and others are deferential to Turkey, overly deferential to say, but he admitted to spinning and lying. And hey, that's what he did. I mean, I'm gonna criticize a guy when he deserves criticism, like meeting Canelo's outrageous demands to fight Crawford, but not even trying to meet his outrageous demands to fight Benavidez. So that's definitely worth criticism. But I'm going to praise him when he gives us, things that are good, like Better Be and Beevil 1 and 2. But again, he's not some messiah. He's not the second coming. He's not this and that. He looks out for his guys and he manipulates as needed.
And let me ask y'all a question too. What is the obsession with Tank? This is an example. What is the obsession with Tank going to Turkey to fight Shakur, his quote unquote biggest fight? Why would it make sense to take 2 African American fighters away from their market, take them all the way over to Saudi, to Turkey, who just got involved in boxing? He don't know how to promote the fighters. He don't know how to promote them in their market. He doesn't know how to make this a big fight. He only has the money. Here, y'all come over here. Here go the money. But he doesn't have the other intangibles that are needed to make this a big fight and make it. I mean, I guess he's not trying to make it be profitable because they're getting these huge guarantees. But I just don't understand, if I'm tanking, I'm well established. Unless you giving me $150 million or something, I just could absolutely not refuse. Why would I take my biggest fight over to Saudi Arabia to somebody that has no idea how to market or promote the fight to my market? Like, I think that's another thing people overlooking. Just because you putting 2 names on a card don't mean people gonna watch the fight. It's way more to it than that. On top of you having it on a different time than everybody's used to, in a different country than everybody's used to, people can't physically go to the fight. It just doesn't make any sense. And if Canelo fights in Saudi Arabia, he absolutely abandoned his fan base, in my opinion. All these people that's been supporting you all of these years, going to your fights, buying the sodas and the drinks and the food that you get 80% of, you're just going to abandon them and go over and fight in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I mean, Canelo's always been kind of a what's the term? He's always been kind of someone who doesn't really have loyalty. You have to remember All Star Boxing. He turned his back on them, walked out of their contract to fight with De La Hoya. Then same thing with De La Hoya. So he's kind of been a mercenary. And so he's always said, about certain fights when he didn't fight Andre, when he waited to fight Bum Lufkin until Danny Jacobs went over there and showed that Bum Lufkin wasn't what corporate media said he was and got robbed. He has always said, I don't give a fuck. It's my career. He told Mike Tyson that when Mike Tyson for years told him to fight Benavidez, and Mike Tyson's the one who dubbed the nickname the Mexican Monster. And so, yeah, I mean, this is par for the course from Canelo. He used his negotiating tactics to get a bigger fight deal and a bigger per fight deal from Turkey instead of 3 fights to get those 4 fights. So yeah, I mean, this is what he's been doing throughout his career in terms of kind of being a mercenary, doing whatever he wants, and he flat out tells you in interviews, I don't care. He's asked about Benavidez, he gets angry. You watch any interview, he dismisses Benavidez. He gets angry about people asking about him, and 20 extra pounds is what he says. He does. This is par for the course from Canelo.
Oh man!
And I hear people in the comments saying Turkey gonna make the fight in Vegas. Well, why would you let Turkey come here and make my biggest fight? He don't know what he's doing, y'all. It doesn't make sense. Has Turkey even had a fight in Vegas? Does Turkey even have the connection to get a fight in Vegas? Do you just walk in Vegas and throw a fight? Like, what is the process with that?
Man, these people just making up some fucking reason to complain about the fight not happening. Because Gervonta Davis is not leaving Amazon Prime. Amazon, he's already with a bigger network. I think that's the six. He's like, let's not forget about the DAZN aspect of this. Like, the dude already has a contract with Amazon Prime. He's already signed with them. So to me, it's like they're just talking about it so that they can have a reason to blame Gervonta for it not happening. Yep. It's the same stupid conversation we've been having for a while. Number one, don't nobody even have the damn network. I mean, who knows about DAZN? All their fights lose fucking money, and we're literally having a conversation about why the biggest money maker of American fighters needs to stop making money and go to Saudi Arabia so they can lose it over there. Like, who at a high level, who makes those type of arguments?
Flyer frequency.
Yeah, flyer frequency and people who are out there to try to do the same thing Turki Al-Alshikh just admitted to doing, which is manipulate people with a bunch of bullshit that they know ain't true. And he can say, honestly, man, I'm not completely sold that he was being dishonest. I think he could just be a buffoon. Like, tell me, okay, we got this deal done, right? Yeah, we got this deal done. Yeah, this is the deal. And then Canelo calls him back and says, hold on, man, I got a problem. I need this. And
let me tell you my theory about that. I think the closer it gets to the Crawford fight, we're gonna see some catch weights thrown out there. Probably we're gonna start seeing some things thrown out there that's probably gonna be like, I didn't say I was gonna do all that. Like, why are we talking about that now? I thought the fight was made is gonna be at 168, but I see more drama coming in the future. I don't see Terrence just being like, all right, 168, no rehydration clause, let's fight. Coming off a long layoff and an injury.
That's a little bit different than what I was saying. Because what I'm saying is that he did not have a deal done. He's just reacting and telling somebody, because they're in a phone conversation. He said he got a deal done in 4 minutes. How the fuck you get a deal done in 4 minutes? You don't have anything signed in 4 minutes. There's no way you get a deal done in 4 minutes. You may have a verbal agreement to a specific thing in that agreement, but then what happens? You got to have somebody write that shit down. And then you have to have somebody that is a manager of yours say, hold on, you got a problem. You got a conflict here. You can't do this. You have to have, what about this? What about that? So two people who are not used to doing formal agreements and they're not doing the formal agreement, they may talk back and forth and think they've got some shit done. But then they got to actually deal with other people involved, and they realize there's a couple more hurdles to cross. So Turkey is sitting there talking out the side of his ass to Mike Coppinger, straight to Mike Coppinger, and he's talking straight to this guy and straight to that guy, telling these guys exactly what's going on every step of the way in the agreement. But then you realize that he kept saying the deal is done, but the deal ain't really done. I've had that happen to me a bunch of times where it was like, yeah. The customer said it's done. We've agreed to it. It's going to be this amount. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And I'm sorry, 2 Cent dropped off, my bad. And then it winds up not being that. And you got to go back and forth with these people. So then I think maybe he's doing a decision, like he's choosing between whether or not he admits that he was telling people things prematurely and it wasn't all the way settled, and versus basically saying, yeah, it was my mistake when I told this guy that because I really didn't have everything set. Instead of just admitting that all the miscommunications was due to maybe you running your mouth too much to the fucking media and you needed to have some barrier between you actually, the people that do the deal and the people that announce the deal. Because you notice the PBC doesn't do this. The PBC does not unannounce things to the press. They will wait for long periods of time before some shit is all the way done. And then they put it out. Turki Al-Alshikh doesn't seem like he's doing that. Turki Al-Alshikh seems like he's running his business on a cell phone. So I'm sure there are some things that he said that were not true, but there could also be some promises that he was making that he couldn't make, or some promises, some things that Canelo was trying to get out of him and leading him down the primrose path. But just the fact, I don't know whether whether he's being dishonest about being dishonest or whether, because to me, when he said you're talking to Mike Coppinger directly, how big a fucking deal is this dude really if he's fucking got a Mike Coppinger on his cell phone? Like, anyway, go ahead, 2 Cent. What's your take on that?
I just think like if he's lying about lying, whatever the case may be, if he's willing to be this aggressive to persuade or mislead people, what would he be willing to do behind the scenes?
More so.
And I think that's a question people should ask themselves, but they're not going to. They're just going to say, oh, well, everybody do it. And I want an example of PBC ever coming out.
There's a super
campaign this aggressive.
There's a super chat for you. I don't know what it is. It's either him just because his ass is up against the ropes. I mean, signing Canelo to a 4-fight deal is bad juju. Because you're not making no money out of him. And that's the same thing DAZN did when DAZN wasn't able to get these other fights that they wanted to get done. And Turki Al-Alshikh just lost a lot of fighters because he lost AJ, he lost Fury, he lost AJ, he lost Fury, he lost Bivol, he lost he lost Devin Haney. Like his matchmaking has these dudes falling off, man. It's an interesting thing to watch, though. What's your take on that, Kamal? With you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I agree with what you and 2 Cents have been saying in that I think the ultimate goal of Turkey is, we know that the Saudis are awash with money because of oil and stuff like that. And so they're trying to build up Riyadh season, increase their tourism industry, which I have no qualms with. I mean, everybody wants to increase revenue. I also think they're trying to turn Saudi into a more religious Dubai, and also utilizing Riyadh season to bring more people to the Islamic religion. So if they're doing that, then they can invest and lose money more frequently, because the concept of losing money doesn't exist when you're promoting a faith or when you're trying to increase business for your country in terms of that. So I think that I agree with everything that you and 2 Cents said. I mean, the ultimate goal, I think, is definitely to promote Saudi Arabia, and so they're willing to part with money. But again, you're going to lose money with how much you're paying Canelo, and then Canelo Crawford. That's going to lose a lot of money, especially being in Vegas, and you're not getting the marquee fights to where even like DAZN, if you can recall what they their first dust up with Canelo was like, hey, we're paying you this huge contract, but you're not giving us marquee fights. You're not giving us good fights. You're fighting your sparring partner, Avni Yildirim. You're fighting a bunch of British guys that have no name value and are not competitive in America. And there was some tension there. So we're going to see how far this thing goes with Canelo. Again, is he going to avoid Pacheco, Iglesias, and holding all four belts? We know the IBF will strip him. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. But again, I think Turkey and Saudi Arabia are in it not only just to promote tourism, but I think there might be missionary kind of activity there, which I have no problem with. But again, the concept of losing money when it comes to those two things may be different for you and I than if it's for those two purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but then the problem it is for boxing is that you build an infrastructure that cannot be an expensive infrastructure that you can't maintain if they decide they're going to change their viewpoint. And then the infrastructure that you had in place that you abandoned rots. So it's just, I mean, it's tough when you don't. I just think organizations and systems should grow naturally, and just the dumping of a ton of money on the sport of boxing, I think it works really well for the promoters, and it can work really well for fighters, that fight on those cards. But at the end of the day, if Turki, Al-Alshikh, and those guys decide that they're no longer going to invest that amount in boxing, then you got expectations of fighters. You have whole fighting contracts that get shut down. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. It'll be what it'll be in the long run. But I do like your observation about when you're talking about religion, that the concept, it's not a business. So if you're not a business, you're not really looking at profit. And if you have a family, you're not running a family looking for a profit every month. You're saving money, but you're saving money for in case something goes wrong. So I definitely feel
the question is though, like, if you're running a business, okay, you're not running a business and you're not trying to make a profit, but you're involved in a business. Like, how does that look moving forward? Because a lot of people are seeing, quote unquote, what happens when you overpay fighters, which is the issue that they're saying is that the PBC, the fighters are on longer layoffs because they're waiting for big paydays. So what do y'all think is going to happen? I'm just saying, allegedly, this is what y'all say. They were overpaying. Al Heyman was overpaying the fighters. Now they on the shelf because they sitting around. They don't want to take lesser fights. They only want big paydays. So if Turki Al-Alshikh is doing this with 4 different promotional companies, and you already heard Eddie Hearn come out and say, well, my fighters want to sit around and wait to fight on a Turkey card. It's just going to be longer layoffs and the fighters you want to see sitting on the shelves. It's going to be reminiscent across all of boxing now.
Yeah, there was you want to answer that, Kamal? Because I do have an answer for that. But go ahead.
I mean, I think that's a fair point. I will say this, though. I think that the PBC has kind of done what Top Rank has done so far with that, in that they will work with Turkey when it makes sense, but they also have their own network. Now, we know that Top Rank is losing the ESPN contract later this year. I first told Fanon a couple years ago the ESPN was getting out of boxing. They're losing money with Top Rank. So I will say this, that's something that Turkey and those who work around him, Frank Warren especially, and Eddie Hearn, have to look into, is the sustainability of this. Because again, I'm not the Crown Prince. I'm not Turkey. I mean, as far as how much they're going to outlay for this in terms of what the two factors I mentioned in terms of tourism and religious purposes. So that is something to look at. And also, going back to your point, 2 cents, about the bad matchmaking. You had Wilder, instead of him fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller coming off a layoff, you put him in there with an active Joseph Parker who had fought 5 times when Wilder was sitting on the shelf. And I was telling Fanon and everyone else, is he inactive? What's going on? It's like he needs tune-ups. And then you put him in with Parker, and he loses and looks horrible.
Yeah.
He can't throw. You put him in with Zhilei Zhang, and he gets knocked the fuck out. I mean, and then and now you're talking about Anthony Joshua. Why didn't you just put Anthony Joshua in there with Wilder? So a lot of the matchmaking is not making sense to me. It looks like some people are getting set up. I thought the whole thing with Boots and Virgil Ortiz was a setup to make Boots look bad, and it proved that way, because only Espinoza was defending Boots in the media, and Turkey was dissing Boots, and Eddie Hearn was quiet as a church mouse. So, I mean, I think that we have to look at all that, because the matchmaking with Turkey, I mean, you have Jairo Bataille over there. Why hasn't Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez is unified in that division? Why haven't they fought? Why are we celebrating Jairo Bataille fighting with the exception of when he fought Breedis, that was the only competitive fight he had at Riyadh season. The other two have been throwaways. Why aren't we asking Turkey, where's Gilberto Zito Ramirez versus Jairo Batalla?
Well, I think it's obvious like Turkey doesn't really know what he's doing, and he's quote unquote putting on the fight the fans want to see. And we just gotta be honest, putting on fights fans want to see isn't profitable majority of the time, because either they're seeing these fighters in their being built phase and they think they so great that they ready to hop in there with champions, or you're doing stuff like asking Benavidez to go to 160 to fight Crawford. Like, these are unrealistic fights you're trying to put together. Like, it's like a sideshow almost. You want to, because you think this fighter good and you think this fighter good, you ignore the weight classes and think just throw some money at him and put him in a ring. No. And it's showing that you can put names on the card all you want to. That's not going to make it sell. It's so much more that goes into that. Unless it's selling globally and we just don't know.
No, they're not. So they're not interested in selling this fight. They're not selling that shit overseas. They are making up a bunch of fucking numbers. DAZN, already there was a report that Phenomenal Show sent me where DAZN had 20 million DAZN USA says they have 20 million. There's 20 million subscribers, and for DAZN, but there was 300 million views. You can't get 300 million views out of 20 million views. I'm telling you, this shit is so fucking shammy, bro. Like, the shit is so shammy. And if fights really, like, if only thing I would disagree with, but I think I got to your point that you're actually making, though, 2 cents. So I don't think we disagree, but any fight is going to do well if people really want it. The problem is when you try to make believe that people want things that they really don't want. When you buy a bunch of views on YouTube, when you pay a bunch of people money to go to the chats and act like they really, really want something. You get Ring Magazine to talk about what they really, who the best fights are and where the big fights are. When you pay attention to those things, that's when fights wind up fucking flopping. And they fly, and everybody's fucking surprised. That's what happened with HBO. One of the things that contributed to HBO going out of boxing is they thought that they could just listen to boxing writers who would blow smoke up people's ass, telling them that they wanted to see 115. Remember that Superfly tournament? Like, they wanted to see Superfly. That's what they really want to see. And Larry Merchant, I'll never forget it. Larry Merchant or Jim Lampley said that they don't need to. They decide who the big name fighters are. That the big name fighters come to them and they make the decision. It's not the fans, it's the writers, it's the team. Once they started believing that it was the writers and it was Ring Magazine, that the ones that are naming the champions and the ones deciding who are the top 10, that you get these people, you get this stuff going on. The PBC, on the other hand, and I think this is a fair assessment of them, they just put on shows where they're like, look, our fight has to make money. Like, they're looking at the actual number of ticket sales being sold, the actual number of pay-per-views being sold, and they continue to make sure that they spend less money than they make. And then, of course, the fighters are going to fight less. Number one, they're all usually on one network, and there's less fight dates. Also, it is true when you cut out the middleman and you let fighters be their own promoter for the sake of not having to pay promotional fees, however you find more money for them, yeah, they're going to fight less often. But that's what the recipe to take advantage of fighters are. You make sure that they're poor, you keep them poor, and you keep them fighting often. That's what fighters, that's what they did to fighters for a long time. They know that if you pay a fighter too much, they're going to start drinking, they're going to stay, and their care about it is for the fighter working out. Because they're like, look, they called it, what was it, the Buster Douglas effect. Well, after Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, they were like, he started eating, he was celebrating, he wasn't training, he wasn't hungry, and he got knocked out by Evander Holyfield. That's something that they've seen go on with boxers for a long time. So it is a conscious decision on a promoter to say, okay, how much should I pay him, right? And if he makes too much money, he's not going to fight very often for me on my promotion. So yeah, there is that, and it will wind up being fighters fight less often. But as a fight fan, you got to make a decision. Do you care about just seeing bloodbath fights and the fights that you want to see? If you don't care at all about the fighter's business, then you don't care. Then shit, let the promoters rip them off, because that's how you get the fights. You get the fights if there is no Turki Al-Alshikh. Like, people keep twisting this shit up. You're not going to get more of these great fights with. Then this is to 2 cents point in which she's saying the economics don't work. The economics point, if Turki Al-Alshikh's dumping a bunch of money, eventually you're going to get less fights because the top level fighters are all rich and don't need to risk their life in the ring anymore. So who's going to grow the next fighters so that people are, that shit doesn't work. It's just going to have to be, or in the long haul, it has to be organic. And that's why boxing has lasted 300 years. It's because it's almost exclusively driven by the profit of individual events. But if you don't have profitable individual events and you're waiting on television networks to take place, that's why eventually ESPN, Top Rank, I think of all of the next most likely business to go out is Top Rank.
So Bob put ESPN out of business?
Say again?
Bob put ESPN out of business?
Or better yet, ESPN just doesn't want to. ESPN is like, what's the return on this? Like, if you do it for a few years and you're like, yeah, it's no big deal, that's some area that you can look at to try to figure out how you can increase. They may say, fuck it, let's spend this money on pickleball. Like, them motherfuckers could be like, we spend a lot of money on this, we could be doing pickleball tournaments.
True, they got pickleball on the zone.
Exactly. You don't know what these motherfuckers going to do, man, when you relying all your money is on a budget. But if you're relying on fight fans, that's why if I was Gervonta, I wouldn't do it. Because I know for sure that if I'm with the PBC and I fight somebody, I can get these people into these seats and I can get these pay-per-views. And I know that my money is coming from what I'm earning, and you don't wind up having Turki Al-Alshikh hold your hand down the hallway and do what Kamal said. And next thing you fucking know, you fighting back to back against Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang. Telling you, they're about to do Devin Haney dirty over there on DAZN, bro.
Yeah, I think Wilder was set up. I don't know by who. Maybe was it Eddie Hearn? I don't know by who, but I was saying the guy's not active and he's fighting Parker, who had fought 5 times in the year. And then you look at a guy, another instance, Fanon, of Turkey not doing what's best for boxing. They just announced Neo Inui. He signed Neo Inui to a big deal. And so Neo Inui has an overdue mandatory with Akhmadiliev ordered by the WBA. That's the only fight in that division. And Neo Inui's been ducking Akhmadiliev. But he just announced with DAZN that he's going to fight David Picasso, who's not a mandatory. And then Turkey says the next fight is going to be Nakatani. So he's openly ducking and swerving the only good fight left in that division, which is against Akhmadiliev. And again, Akhmadiliev is from like one of the former Central Asian Muslim states and that were part of the former Soviet Union. Why isn't Turkey demanding that? Why is everybody okay in corporate media with Inoue ducking his mandatory? Because if it was Tank Davis, we know what corporate media would say.
Man, they have no choice, man. The media dudes got no choice, bro. They gotta ride with them dudes. Now that I think about it, who else is gonna pay for that shit?
Nobody. That's the problem they're running into. Like, shoot, like with Top Rank and ESPN, I think they about to go to DAZN next, because they fights ain't selling like what they was. And right now, I think their biggest star is probably Teofimo Lopez, but he ain't even like big enough to be like a pay-per-view name. Like, he gets the views on ESPN, like when it's free, but like, man, they hoping that he's gonna be like their guy, kind of like how Golden Boy just got Ryan Garcia right now, for real. Like, man, I don't see things lasting too long for him, unless they can build one of those up and coming fighters up like Abdullah Mason. But it's the same thing that been going on since Floyd left Top Rank, and what Floyd said, like, they don't know how to promote black fighters. So that's the issue right there. So I think with this ESPN thing going away for Top Rank, they might end up on DAZN next. And when that happens, I would expect DAZN's prices to go up again at that point too. That's the way that I'm looking at things for them.
I
As
would
far
put
as other,
Amazon as their number one target. I would say Amazon because they already got. The only reason I'm saying that is because Amazon is currently showing the HBO boxing. Like those are almost all top rank fights that they're showing.
Well,
there is that.
TNT lost inside the NBA, so they lost the contract with the NBA. So there was rumors that the PBC was also going to look for a deal with TNT. So that's something else to look into. And then also when you think of Amazon, there's Tank's deal with Amazon Prime. It's a huge deal, and there are rumors that Errol Spence is going to sign a big deal similar to Tank's with Amazon Prime as well.
Oh, speaking of Tank on Amazon Prime, one thing I noticed over this past weekend, uh, you click on the PBC link on Amazon Prime Video, and it bring up a picture, a banner, and it got Tank on it, right? You go to ESPN Plus and you click on boxing, it just got like a picture of some blue boxing gloves on there. You go to the zone and you click on the boxing link, it's a mural of a whole bunch of different fighters. They got Usyk, Clarissa Shields, a whole bunch of people. See, and that's the thing that shows you like they don't got like nobody else that they could market like Tank. Like even with PBC, people were talking about, Canelo is the face of boxing, but I mean, shoot, that's not the picture they put up. They just put Tank up there by himself, like on the boxing page, I think that's another thing that points to like, hey, Tank got it good over there, and you see like what Turkey is doing is helping a lot of the guys who can't really, basically eat what they kill because they're not really killing much. They ain't selling that same way. And that's one thing that people is forgetting. The difference between promoters like Top Rank, Matchroom, PBC, like those are companies and they got that budget versus where Turkey is getting this money, which is coming from the government. And the government, that's whatever budget they decide they got for their fiscal year. It's a lot different from, what you got for a company. And that's why it matters whenever they're talking about, hey, if you want to get paid this much, you got to sell this much. Like what we seen with Tiafimo recently, putting out like how much he was supposed to sell at minimum, for the pay-per-views. I think it was 80,000. Worried about that. He didn't take that deal for whatever. And that would have been like I think his first pay-per-view, wouldn't it? So it's things like that where like people been saying, and I know it's something I've been saying. Like all these fighters want the money Mayweather money, but don't want to do pretty boy Floyd things. They don't want to do it. They just want to go straight to that. And that's one thing that I will always commend Mayweather on because people say that he ruined things, and that's why things are the way right now. Why fighters only care about money and this and that. But I disagree. I disagree because when you look at everything, whether it was Mayweather or the genius of Al Heyman, the fact is that Mayweather was the face that we saw doing it when HBO 24/7 first started, and they had him and Oscar De La Hoya on there, and then that became a thing. Him going on Dancing with the Stars, going on WWE, having Triple H walk him out and carry his belts and everything, have 50 Cent, Machine Gun Kelly, Lil Wayne, other rappers out there, making all these appearances of different things, having Justin Bieber come out to his boxing gym to go ahead and fight, getting in WWE and actually having a match with the Big Show. Like he expanded his audience. He went to different places, got different people interested. Like, who is this guy? What's he doing here? Oh, he's a boxer? Okay, let's go ahead and see what boxing is all about. I mean, shoot, he had Warren Buffett show up to watch his sparring sessions at his gym for one of his fights. He had Warren Buffett up there in attendance at one of his fights. So, it's things like that where it's like Mayweather showed y'all, hey, you got to market yourself. You got to grow your audience. You got to expand your brand. And no fighter is picking up on that. And he was doing that on top of staying in shape, working out when nobody else was working. I mean, shoot, Nate Jones told a story about he woke up because he used to live with Floyd like 3 or 4 in the morning and Floyd was gone. Didn't come back till like 8. And he was like wondering what the hell happened. And, Floyd got back and told him, man, I had a dream about losing the fight, so I had to go out and run 10 miles. Things like that. Floyd put in that work in the gym, and he put in that work in expanding his brand. But these fighters ain't doing that. They're just sitting around waiting. Like, oh, well, nobody wants to give me a payday. Oh, these guys are ducking, staying active on Twitter instead of trying to grow themselves so people actually know who they is. They're not doing that. So Floyd laid out that blueprint, but all people see is that he made money. He did all them things that's so obvious. But people ignoring all that and thinking, oh, he only cared about money and he ruined everything for boxers today, and that's why boxing is dying. Nah, these fighters just need to get with the program and follow the same thing, and maybe they get more people interested in their fights, and they wouldn't have to join the Turkey welfare program. That's the way I look at it.
T. Orlando, why T. Orlando hating, man? What's your take, Kamal? You good, Kamal? You Kamal checked out.
Right back.
I was trying to share the conversation. Hey, man, look, it's wild stuff, man. We'll see how it all plays out, man. What fight's coming up this weekend?
I think this is the
Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, who you got?
Keyshawn and Brennan.
Anybody got Brennan check?
Yeah, just because Keyshawn be out there cloud chasing on Tank, so I hope that curse hit him and he end up losing.
Man, don't hate on him, man. It'll be a good. I'm looking forward to the real fights, man. These conversations we got. When is Tank fight in May? I'm seeing him not May. I'm sorry.
March 1st. March 1st.
Yeah, man. I don't want to get that date wrong. I know it's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we got Keyshawn this week, and then next week we got the rematch for Bivol and Beterbiev, and they also got Shakur on that card too. And then the week after that is Tank.
This dude, T. Orlando says, so it took Floyd hours to run 10 miles. T. Orlando, he said if he woke up in the morning and the dude had been getting back, that doesn't mean he got back right after he got done running. He could have got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, stretched, got something to eat, then ran, then came back, took a shower. Dog, T. Orlando, man.
Have to ask Nate Jones about that.
What'd you say?
I said he's going to have to ask Nate Jones about that because Nate Jones is the one who told the story.
Exactly. He said, man, I woke up in the morning. He was already back from a 10-mile run, man. But that don't mean that come on, man. Anyway, but look, man, I'm gonna roll up out of here today, man. This is check y'all out, man. Did you make any money 2 cent on the Super Bowl or anything you want to talk about that I haven't talked about?
Oh no, I don't really do the Super Bowl like that.
Yeah. So anything you want to talk about that we haven't got?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I just want to get my 2 cents in on the conversation.
For sure. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my girl to my lady 2
Oh yeah,
cent.
Fanon, I got a debate coming up this Thursday.
Somebody said that. Oh my bad. Hold on. Somebody said 2 cent. Who do you have training you on the mitts for your showdown on KO debate series? Who you debating and what is it about?
I'm debating Boxiana and I'm gonna email you.
Okay, cool. For sure. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be Thursday, my first one, so we're gonna see how it go.
Oh, it'll go well, I'm sure. I got to look at the format. I've only seen the format a couple times, man, but I'm sure it'll be fun. But all right, I'll be there. I'll check you out for sure. This Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Right.
8:30.
All right, for sure. All right.
Wait, what time?
Thank you for the time. Thank you for the time, Fanon. Congratulations to the Eagles. I was cheering for them because I'm a 49ers fan, and neither us or the Eagles were able to dethrone the Chiefs until last night. Salute to them. Keyshawn Davis, you got to have a good performance against Berinchek. You had the top-ranked formula of making you being the A side being active against an inactive B-side fighter that they want to lose. Berinchek has been inactive since he beat what's his name for the title. So this is your moment to shine. You've been talking a lot about Gervonta Tank Davis. Then you have different energy when the media ask you a second time. You're ducking Andy Cruz. You try to act like you don't know who the guy is. You're fighting on a Friday night, man. We're expecting a big fight from you. Thank you for the time, Fanon.
All right, man. Get back, y'all. Get back 2 cent. Anything you got? All right, y'all. All right, it's been a blast. Richie said, what it do for now for the sport? Thank you, brother. Oh, man, it's good, man. I can't complain, man. Life is good. I had a good weekend. I think we had a good show today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank y'all to the 13 people that helped sponsor the live stream today. That means a big deal. We didn't quite make our goal, but definitely appreciate you very, very much. Guest Tank runs at 1.5 miles an hour. Man, T. Orlando, man, you didn't get to answer all the questions, man. You going off anyway. It is what it is. All right, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. We be back tomorrow. Deuces.